Welcome to the deep dive. So we had a really clear mission from our listener for this one.
Yeah, the shortcut, the fast track to understanding how to, realize their full potential.
Exactly. And the sources we've pulled together, mainly from Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, they're perfect for this. It's less self-help and it's more like an operational manual for the human body and brain.
It really is. It's a synthesis of hard science. We're talking epigenetics, neurocardiology, quantum physics, and ancient mystical wisdom.
Right.
Dispenza's whole point is that becoming supernatural isn't magic. It's just a natural biological state we've forgotten how to access.
Absolutely. And that's why our deep dive today is going to be super practical. We are skipping a lot of the deep philosophy and really focusing on the how-to.
The step-by-step.
Yeah, the foundational roadmap of the meditations, moving you from theory to actual biological transformation.
Okay, so to start, you have to get this one thing straight. The core challenge, the very first thing you have to overcome, is the habit of being yourself. That's what keeps almost everyone stuck.
Let's unpack that habit because it's so deeply rooted in neurochemistry.
Yeah.
We're talking about the thinking-feeling loop.
Mm-hmm.
How does a thought, which is just, what, electrical energy?
Just an electrical signal in the brain.
Right. How does that become a physical barrier?
It happens instantly. It's physical. You think a thought, your brain generates that signal, and it's immediately translated into chemistry.
Okay.
We're talking specific neuropeptides, neurotransmitters, that flood your body. And these chemicals make your body feel the exact way you were just thinking.
So if I think a worried thought, my brain just dumps a worry chemical into my body.
Precisely. And your body then has an emotion, fear, anxiety, whatever it is. It feels that, sends a signal back to the brain, and then the brain generates more of those same thoughts.
And that's the loop.
That is the definition of the loop. And the more you run it, the more chemically addicted the body gets to that emotion, even if it's a painful one.
It's conditioning.
It is pure conditioning. Because emotions are the chemical residue of the past, you are literally conditioning your body to live in the past. Your body becomes the mind of that emotion. It's on autopilot.
So it's biologically trapped in the known. Okay, so how do we apply a quantum solution to break out of that?
The solution is about shifting your state from matter to energy. You have to stop identifying with the known physical world.
With somebody, sometime, someplace.
Exactly. And you intentionally move your awareness into the unknown. You become nobody in no time. And that's how you access the quantum field of pure potential.
That sounds abstract, but it's the direct prerequisite for what he calls the creation formula.
Clear intention plus elevated emotion.
Okay, let's start with the intention piece.
Yeah.
How do you create an intention that's clear enough to bypass all that mental chatter and skepticism?
It requires a highly coherent brain. So the formula is you choose your future. Let's say it's that new job our listener wants. And you list out every single specific detail.
It's everything.
Everything. The salary, the culture, the feeling of the office, the travel. You create this detailed map of the what. But, and this is key, you have to leave out the when and the how.
So you're not trying to solve the problem with your thinking mind.
No, you're just defining the outcome. That's the coherent brain part.
Now for the fuel, the elevated emotion. This requires heart coherence.
Right, and this is where the neurocardiology comes in. I mean, the heart generates the strongest electromagnetic field in the body. It's thousands of times stronger than the brain's.
Wow.
So when you generate a truly elevated emotion, you bring order, coherence to that field, and that's what broadcasts your signal into the quantum field of possibilities.
And the sources are really clear that gratitude is the key emotion for this. Why gratitude specifically? Why is that the ultimate state of receivership?
Because your body only believes what it feels. Normally, we wait for something good to happen out there to feel grateful.
Right, it's a reaction.
It's a reaction. But by generating gratitude before the event, you're sending a powerful chemical signal to your body, to the unconscious mind, that the future has already happened.
You shift from lacking to receiving.
You're collapsing the wave of possibility into reality, just with your emotional state.
That makes so much sense. Okay, so now we're ready for the first practical, physical step of the meditation. Liberating the trapped energy. Where is this energy trapped?
It gets trapped as these dense, low-frequency survival emotions. And it's almost always in the lower 3 energy centers. When you live in stress, you're constantly pulling energy from the field around you and turning it into chemistry just to survive.
Let's quickly detail those centers.
Okay, so center 1 is basic survival, lust, reproduction. Center 2 is a huge energy sink for guilt, shame, suffering, fear.
You can physically feel that in your gut.
Oh, yeah, you can. And center 3, the solar plexus, that's where you hold anger, frustration, control issues. These are all about controlling matter with matter. We have to pull the energy out of them.
And the reconditioning breathing technique is the physical lever for that. It's designed to literally pull the mind out of the body. So walk us through the actual mechanics.
It is demanding, but it's very specific. So you have to contract the intrinsic muscles of the lower body all at once, the perineum, pelvic floor, lower abdomen, upper abdomen.
Okay, so you're squeezing all of that while you're breathing in.
Yes, while taking a slow, steady, powerful breath in through the nose. And as you breathe, your attention travels up that central
Up
axis.
the spine.
Correct. You place your attention on the very top of your head as you pull that breath and the energy all the way up. Hold it at the top and you just keep squeezing.
The science behind this is incredible. The sources call it an inductance field. How does breathing and squeezing create a powerful electromagnetic field?
You have to think about the physics of the system. Your spinal column is like a fiber optic cable, right? And it's surrounded by cerebrospinal fluid, which is full of charged salts and proteins.
Okay, so it's a conductive fluid.
Highly conductive. And when you contract those muscles and breathe like that, you are mechanically accelerating that charged fluid up the spinal column very fast.
Like shaking a bottle of salt water.
Exactly like that. And that rapid acceleration of charged particles generates a huge measurable inductance field.
And what does that field do?
It reverses the normal current. Instead of the brain sending signals down to the body, this field acts like a powerful vacuum cleaner. It just sucks all that dormant low-frequency energy from the lower centers straight up the spine to the brain.
Wow. What should you be feeling when that happens? Is it a rush?
It can be really intense. Some people feel heat, vibration, a powerful pressure moving up the spine, and when that energy surge, which is just the energy of your past trauma, hits the brainstem and moves past the thalamic gate,
It forces the brain to shift.
it forces the brain into an extremely high-frequency state, into gamma brainwaves.
Which is super consciousness.
The highest state there is. It's associated with ecstasy, mystical experiences, high-level information processing. You have literally just used your breath to convert the dense energy of your past into the fuel to create a new mind.
That is the perfect foundation for step 2. Building coherence by blessing the energy centers. So we've liberated the energy, now it's time to organize it.
Absolutely. The next part of the meditation is about bringing harmony to the body's systems. Each of those 7 energy centers is like a mini brain. It has its own frequency, its own hormones, its own intent.
And the meditation has this repetitive 4-part structure for each center. How do you actually do that? How do you engage with the field through these centers?
Okay, this is the shift from particle to wave.
Mhm.
For each center, you do 4 things. First, you put your attention on the physical center itself, the particle.
The location in the body.
The location, yep. Second, you immediately open your focus to the space around that center. You tune into the wave, the potential energy. This is the quantum step.
And then you add the emotional component.
Right. Third, you bless the center for its greatest good. And fourth, this is crucial, you connect to and sustain powerful, elevated emotions. Love, gratitude, joy. To raise that center's frequency, you build a coherent field around it.
The big shift happens at center 4, the heart. Why is the heart the big transition point?
Because centers 1, 2, and 3 are all about selfish survival. It's matter trying to affect matter. But center 4, right behind your breastbone, that's the bridge to the selfless, the divinity centers.
And when you bring coherence to the heart, it triggers a biological change.
A huge one. You start to release specific growth-oriented hormones.
Like what are the biological accelerators here?
You start generating growth hormone for systemic repair and massive amounts of oxytocin. This is the biological mechanism for shifting out of separation and stress and into oneness and compassion. You're moving beyond survival.
And the sequence continues up, finally focusing on the pineal gland at center 6. This is where you get sensory experience without the senses, right?
That's the perfect way to put it. The pineal gland is the ultimate transducer. It's the antenna. When you put your attention there and you elevate the energy, it opens up and starts to pick up higher frequency information that exists beyond our 5 senses.
And it turns that data into images.
Vivid, profound internal imagery. This is the gateway to the true mystical experience.
The meditation finishes by blessing the 8th center, the space about 16 inches above your head. Again, with gratitude.
That final act of gratitude is the ultimate signal of receivership. It's like you're opening the door for information to just flood in from the quantum field. And the final instruction is absolutely critical for integration. You lie down for 15
You
minutes.
have to surrender.
You have to completely surrender and let the autonomic nervous system take those new coherent orders and integrate them, bringing the body back into balance.
Okay, so we've built the coherence. Now, how do we sustain it? This is where the pineal gland acts like a master alchemist.
It does. This is another piece of just incredible biology. When that high-frequency energy hits the pineal gland, it chemically alters the melatonin that's naturally there into these really powerful metabolites.
And these metabolites are what stabilize that mystical state. You mentioned two key ones.
One of them is chemically very similar to a benzodiazepine, but this isn't a drug. The brain is organically producing a compound that suppresses activity in the amygdala.
The fear and anger center.
Exactly. It calms the fight or flight response, but at the same time, it keeps the mind hyper alert and conscious. You're relaxed, but fully awake.
That sounds like true inner peace. The body is calm, but consciousness is heightened.
And the second thing is this sustained high level of oxytocin from that heart coherence. The sources say that with so much oxytocin, you experience these intense feelings of love and wholeness. It becomes physiologically difficult to hold a grudge.
You're chemically wired for unconditional love.
Basically, yeah.
So you have to carry that new state off the meditation cushion and into your life. The walking meditation is the bridge for that.
It's the final integration step. You start by standing still with your eyes closed, and you actively generate and radiate those elevated emotions from your heart. You feel that energy extending beyond your body.
And then you open your eyes.
You open your eyes, but you maintain that intense internal focus, that trance state, and you just start walking with a clear intent.
You're consciously embodying that new frequency instead of letting the outside world dictate your internal state.
That's the whole game. By doing this mental and emotional rehearsal over and over, you're priming your brain for future memories. You're making your brain and body look, biologically and chemically, as if the future you want has already happened.
You're drawing your new destiny to you by being that destiny now.
You got it.
This whole practice, then, is just a masterful application of epigenetics. It's becoming the master of your own biology.
That's the ultimate takeaway. Your body is conditioned by the chemistry of the past. But the second you cultivate an elevated emotion, joy, love, gratitude that is greater than the pain of your past, you signal new healthy genes to express themselves. You change your internal environment, and so you change your body.
This entire process is about collapsing the distance between where we are and where we could be. To leave you, the listener, with a final thought on this.
Right.
Let's go back to the idea of time itself.
Yeah, Dispenza talks about his own mystical experience where he lived through two incredibly detailed, long events in what was only about 10 minutes of our linear time.
He moved from space-time, where everything is separate, to time-space, where all possibilities exist at once.
Exactly.
So if intense internal focus and that sustained high-frequency energy can literally collapse linear time and space, we have to ask you this. What predictable linear timeline are you maintaining right now just by focusing your attention and energy on the separation between where you are today and the future you want?
Because that future already exists as a possibility. Your only work is to collapse the perceived distance through coherence and elevated emotion.